guys, it's Finn. In this week's life update, I wanted to talk about losing weight healthily, i.e. recovering from eating disorders. Now, I've shared in many vlogs about how I have a very eating disordered past. And that's been an ongoing process to sort it out. Now, I'm clean from drugs and alcohol and have been for 5 years, but I find that recovery from eating issues is a lot harder. I mean, with drink and drugs you can just stop, whereas with food, that was the problem. I was just not eating. You know, what I'm saying is that you can't avoid food, so it's a difficult thing to recover from. I mean, my main kind of disordered kind of eating was either overeating to comfort eat, but predominantly it was starving myself and binging and purging. In terms of the binging and purging, that's dealt with. I haven't binged or purged for about 4 years, so not quite as long as my recovery from drugs and alcohol. I did have one mini relapse of eating issues in the last 5 years. And I've had the odd thought here and there, but I've never done it. I've never gone back to kind of starving and vomiting. However, I do still have issues with eating my feelings, comfort eating, eating out of anger at myself. I often find myself feeling really peed off, so I get the impression then when I'm eating it's just like, I'm really angry, you're not good enough, that kind of thing. So it's emotional eating that I still find myself doing, and it's been an ongoing kind of battle, challenge to deal with that. Transitioning has helped enormously with the general disordered eating and wanting to starve myself, because I realise now I was trying to starve myself male. I really wanted the straight up and down body, flat chest that was associated with being a man. Didn't know that was what it was, but when I came out as trans, that all very much made sense to me, that that's what I was trying to do. And when I realised I could transition and be the man I knew myself to be, it became easier to let go of the starving myself, because I realised that no amount of starving was ever going to turn me into a man, but that over time, if I was patient, testosterone would give me that body that I knew was mine, the flat-chested, straight up and down body. So that helped with that. But obviously in terms of coping with feelings, it's still an ongoing issue to not use food in that way. So it's just been a kind of gradual process of getting more comfortable with myself and learning better ways to manage emotions. It's something I talk about a lot, how in the last 5 years, with the help of AA especially, I have learnt ways to manage life, to take life on life's terms, to know that things will pass, to be able to find healthy coping mechanisms. I talk about the healthy wellness toolkit, where you just build up a great big chunk of stuff that works for you. Mine's kind of going for a walk, going for yoga, going swimming, having a bath, listening to some really good music. I've got an endless list now of healthy coping mechanisms that I can draw upon. And also with transition, I tell you what, I've become a lot more comfortable being overweight. I am actually overweight for the first time in my life, properly am. It's not my imagination, I am carrying too much weight. But I've been able to relax about that. I never liked being an overweight woman, because what that did was accentuate the bits of me that were female, the breasts, I still find out how to say that word, and the hips. Whereas being an overweight man, I still look male, so it's not been too much of an issue. It goes to my belly, and that's associated with somebody of my age anyway, so it's not been too much of an issue. It hasn't triggered me in the way it used to. But of course, my weight has gone up from, I was about 7.5 stone when I entered recovery 5 years ago, and then it's gradually gone up, and then obviously when I started testosterone, it started to increase more muscle mass, etc, etc. So I'd gone up to 12.5 actually. 10.5 is kind of my comfortable weight, but Mr. Christopher told me to put some weight on for lower surgery, and I just took that to the extreme, and I went from 10.5 to 12, which is ridiculous. But in a way, it was quite nice to feel that comfortable that I was like, do you know what, it doesn't matter. But anyway, the purpose of this video is because I really do feel like I've just made a massive leap into recovery. In all this, I weighed myself at Christmas and I was 12 stone 2 or 12 stone 4, one of the two, I can't remember now. I was like, right, this has got to be sorted out. For stage 2 surgery, I want to be as healthy and fit as possible. My supposed healthy weight for my height is 9'7", makes no sense to me, so I'm just going to go for what feels comfortable. So, since Christmas, I've been using my FitnessPal and I've been using a Fitbit. I haven't got the thing on because it's charging. And using those two things to kind of help me to make sure I'm not eating too much in a day, and also to make sure I'm getting enough exercise. And what the Fitbit's really good for is seeing your output and input. So how much exercise I've done and how much eating I've done, and whether I'm kind of over or under in terms of like losing weight, gaining weight, or staying the same, which is really, really helpful. Now, I have an issue with stuff like calorie counting, any kind of counting of anything. I'm quite obsessive. My old eating habits used to be very much everything was written down, everything was calculated to the very last calorie. When I did any exercise, everything was calculated. Walking to the shops, everything, how much I'd done, how much weight I'd lost, it became obsessive. And what I try and do now is do exercise for exercise's sake. So I go swimming, because I can't count that. I mean, I was doing weights and I was doing walking, and it wasn't particularly good for my back, but it also wasn't very good for my health. I was just kind of always in competition with myself, was making sure I'd do more, and it was just too much. Now I go swimming, and I resist the urge to get a lap counter, and I just swim for half an hour, and I let go of like anything else other than this is for health. And I do the same with yoga, this is for health. But it's hard because I want to know how much I've done, how fast I've done. With the MyFitnessPal, obviously I'm counting calories, but what I'm trying to do is count foods rather than calories, if that makes sense, because on there it's got all the food already in it. So I just do guesstimates, estimates, and round numbers to what the food is, and don't worry too much about it being exact. But it is a risk with me to do things like that, because it can easily spark me off into, right, I need to lose more. Anyway, so I've been following this since January now, and I've gradually lost weight. I've lost 13 pounds, and I've lost it healthily. And it feels so absolutely amazing to have done this without being obsessive. I've done this in a healthy way because I did genuinely need to lose a little bit of weight. Men should not carry much weight around their tummy. Men that do are more statistically prone to being victims of stroke, heart disease, etc., etc. So it's important to be healthy. And I just wanted to share really how amazing it feels to have gone through the process of losing weight for the first time ever in my life in a healthy way. It's incredible, really, really is. To have not got obsessive in any way or whatever, it's just done really, really healthy, really, really gradually at a pound or two a week. And I feel good, and because I've done it in such a healthy way, I feel even better. It's just incredible. So I just wanted to share that. That's a really massive leap forward for me in recovery. This is, I think possibly I might always have this issue with food. It's not like drink where I can just leave it to one side. I've got to always eat. So I think it's always a danger for me that I can go into this territory of eating for the wrong reasons or losing weight for the wrong reasons, but this feels like a massive step forward. So I just wanted to share that really with you all. So that is my update for this week. I will update with something next week. I'm not quite sure what that's going to be yet, but I will surprise you. We'll see. Take care everybody, and thank you for watching and for listening. Have a really good week. Have I already said that? Yes. Love you, bye.